Everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We'll work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together, and if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com over there. Special is a coupon code. It works on the monthly membership and the yearly membership. 50% off the first month only on a monthly, and a larger discount on the yearly membership. And if you want to swap from a monthly to a yearly, you can always do that and use that coupon code for savings. All right, let's dive in, take a look, see what's going on today. We've got the dollar here, pretty big move lower throughout the day. Looks like we had a pretty large selling pressure move in the dollar there, and then it bounced back up. So maybe that's a retest move. We've broken out of this downtrend pattern here. A lot of the times you get a return move back to this general area here. And then we start to move higher if rates continue up. But right now, we're sitting on top of the pattern. Still looks good to go higher, in my opinion, for the dollar until we break below that support level. The 2-year, getting some selling pressure at resistance. We're right at that resistance. I've drawn that in a long time ago. I'm getting a little bit of selling pressure. Now, if it has staying power, we would see follow through. If it doesn't, which we do have a little bit of a wick at the bottom, meaning there's some resiliency to go back up, we could see this punch through. So we're kind of at a decision point here if we're going to punch through or not. And again, we'll see if that occurs this week or not. The 10-year yield down a little bit, but again, we're in an uptrend. We've broken out of the big patterns. Everything is up. And then the 30-year also down a little bit, but the momentum is up. And that's still intact at this time. TLT bond prices, we have a little bit of a bounce in bond prices, 0.15%, but the direction is down. That is not reversed. We do have some support where we're located, a little bit of support through here. So maybe we get a little bit of a bounce, maybe we don't. But the overall bigger trend is lower. The 2 and the 10, we did get some yield curve uninversion today, down 0.77%. Now, we did get some resiliency. We can see towards the end of the day that we bounced. Looks like it doesn't want to give me the short term here. We bounced towards the end of the day. That's what this wick is at the bottom there. So there is some resiliency upward. We didn't just fly lower right into the close. We've got TYX, TNX ratio up. This is generally good for gold to go higher. And we have a little bit weaker dollar, so I would expect gold to go higher if I were to look at the TYX and gold, or DXY. Gold did go up, not a ton, but it did go up a little bit, $18 an ounce. We're on support here. We'll see if that holds. But it looks like it's trying to break down. Maybe, we'll see. And resistance is above us, so we'll see which direction we break here. Big question mark is what we're looking at. Silver, it's still sitting on top of the pattern. We've had a nice little slow pullback here. That's a bullish formation sitting on top of support. That looks good to go higher. And the longer term, it looks fantastic for this thing to potentially launch into an area where it doesn't have a ton of resistance. So that looks good. Platinum moving higher, 1.5%. We're still kind of at resistance here, trying to break out of this pattern. We could see another big up move or impulse move higher when it does break. Palladium's up 3%. So we did a break through that resistance area, which is this one. We broke through, we did a retest on top of it. That's this here. And now we're moving back up again. So that looks good. We're hopefully going to jump off of this support zone. XEU to gold ratio, a little bit of selling pressure above and beyond, or I should say underperformance of the gold and silver mining companies in relationship to gold. Everything still looks good from a long-term perspective. GDX was up slightly, 0.4% chopping sideways. GDXJ was down slightly, down 0.22, and SILJ down 1.2%. They all look good to me. There's nothing wrong with these charts. We hit a little bit of resistance up here in SILJ. The resistance is this guy up here. Could we loop around and do something like that? We could. Could we chop sideways? We could. Could we come back and do like a falling wedge? All those are possible. I'm not seeing a ton of selling pressure, so the pullback may not be huge. We'll see what it looks like. Crude oil's up very slightly today. We do have kind of an ugly looking pattern, which is here coming on up. That could be an inverted flag pattern that does something like this. That is a possibility. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it's possible. Not a ton of follow through today. Kind of a day where we were selling off and then got bought back up towards the end of the day. So the momentum is still heading upwards at this time towards the end of the day. TTF gas is up 1%. That's looking okay. We're chopping sideways for the most part in a gigantic base. There's the big base there. So I do think this will work. It'll break out eventually. We've got natural gas in America up 1.22%. This is coming off breaking out of this upward facing pattern. So we might come up and do one of these things that rolls over for a period of time. We'll see. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, down 1.61%. I don't like the size of these candlesticks if they stay large and continue to go. There could be downside here. We came back and broke through this support resistance uptrend, and this could be a return move where we roll over. That is a possibility. I'm not saying it isn't. We do have a larger selling pressure move lower, and we have fought back up, and we are getting some bigger selling pressure candlesticks. Does that mean that a slowdown could come to the market? It's possible, yeah. It's very possible, and that's why we were seeing gold doing very well and potentially silver breaking out. They do well when oil kind of consolidates and the market goes slow, like a slowdown in the market. But that doesn't necessarily line up with copper, which is broken to the upside. Copper and oil generally move together, so it's a tough setup, is what I'll say there, to know the short-term direction here. OIH down 1.56%. We're underneath resistance at this time. We're trying to break back up through this resistance. But right now, the momentum is down on the longer term. Newcastle coal futures, this looks good. Looks like we're trying to consolidate here and break higher with time. So that's looking good. We're down 0.45% today, but we're consolidating sideways. We did make kind of a higher high there, so it doesn't look too bad. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down 1.83%. We're sitting on top of the pattern here. So that's still good. We're sitting on top of it, which is bullish. Kind of doing our return back test move here as we're consolidating sideways. Uranium futures pricing just moving sideways, consolidating, filling in that gap. URA, so the equities here are being accumulated, which is a good thing. When you see weakness in the physical market, but you're seeing strength in the equities, means that this could potentially turn. URA up 2% today. Pretty big move, and you can see that we're breaking through some of this resistance. The thing that gets me ultra bullish on URA is that we've broken through a lot of the major resistance, and this looks good to go higher. It doesn't mean we go straight higher. I just mean that the trend is higher. Higher lows, higher highs, we trend higher. We saw good buying pressure in URNM. Again, we're breaking through this, creating a higher high. That's a good thing. That's bullish. We covered and filled that gap. This is the gap that we filled right there, and we're breaking to make a new high. That's bullish. URNJ doing the same dang thing. I like it a lot. We broke out of the downtrend. We did a return move, retest move, and now we're making a new high. Bullish, bullish, and bullish. That looks very good for URNJ. And it's good to see that the junior companies are participating in the move, not just the big boys. Could we see a really big move in the juniors? I think it's coming. I think it's coming. With time, yeah, I think it's coming. URNJ versus URNM, here's the kind of the ratio here. We can throw kind of a downtrend here line, and you can see that starting to break up. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Bull markets have that, the juniors participating in it. Nickel's still down. Nickel's just not catching a break. We've just been chopping sideways, down 0.83%. Copper's down 1.26 in this consolidation there that I drew in there a little while ago. And this is a bullish formation to move higher, and we are still sitting on top of the pattern. Still looks fantastic. COPX, a little bit of selling pressure, but again, we're on top of the pattern and we are squeezing. Now, I don't know if I drew this in correctly. It's a guess. So think of it, I'm going to draw it in a little bit better and nicer here. So think of it as something like this, or maybe it might be a little bit thicker, might be something like that. I don't know yet. But that's a bullish formation to go higher, not lower. Lithium down 0.55, still looks good, uptrend intact. We've broken through the downtrend resistance line. Everything looks good. REMX also up, but we're coming into some resistance. We could slow down a little bit at this resistance, which we have. And again, I'm looking for a punch through. Think of what palladium has done. Something like this, maybe like that, and then we keep going higher, kind of a stair-step pattern where we stair-step on these things. So that still looks good, in my opinion. Iron ore, right at the breakout here, guys. Iron ore could punch here and really start to pop. That's one to watch. We're squeezed up. We've got a nice big bullish engulfing here on the monthly candlesticks. And we're starting to work our way on up and trying to break out. So we'll see if we get a breakout here in iron ore. I like the trading here. Big greens, small reds. This looks pretty promising for iron ore. And steel and met coal, all those. Aluminum still down. We haven't broken through the 2650 resistance. Baltic Dry Index flying higher, looking really good for Baltic Dry Index there. Pretty solid. We could see a big move out of the Baltic Dry Index. Looks solid. Emerging markets continuing higher with that weaker dollar, weaker yields. This looks like a very promising move. This is your kind of base consolidation area, and I think we're going to go into a new era where emerging markets does some like ridiculous move, like the last bull market. Moo down 0.36%, kind of chopping around, but again, I think we're in an uptrend. So even if we pull back in the short term, I think the uptrend, longer term uptrend, is still intact. KRE up 0.88, likes the weaker dollar, weaker yields. But again, we're above support, still looks okay. We've got XHB up a little bit, still above support. We'll see what happens here if this is just a retest or not. If it is, we'll launch higher. If it isn't, we'll break through and start breaking down. Russell 2000 up 1%. We had a nasty looking candlestick yesterday. We'll see if this can get reversed or if we come back and do kind of a retest move. SPX is up, but it's not a very convincing candlestick. This big bearish engulfing candlestick that we got yesterday, I'm still holding that this could move lower or consolidate further. NASDAQ doing something very similar to those. This one doesn't have a big bearish engulfing though, so kind of interesting setup. Dow Jones transports underneath resistance. We'll see if we can punch through that. The resistance is right above us. That's the resistance line that we want to get back up. Or this could be a rollover where we head lower. XLI, that is still flying higher. We're still up there. I got a small down candlestick. We've got buying and selling pressure kind of hitting each other right here. But we are above a lot of support, so we could consolidate a little bit before heading higher, or we can come back and retest this. That's a possibility. Bitcoin continuing higher. That looks really good to go move on up. We did have a reversal candlestick here and here, but today's performance is pretty good. So the buyers are dueling it out with the sellers here, and we could consolidate maybe, or maybe the buyers can start pushing it higher still. Ethereum's ripping 8.3. This is just killing it as we've broken away from this consolidation to the upside. Very strong move there. MicroStrategy moving up with Bitcoin up 3%, still maintaining a little bit of leverage on Bitcoin. That looks pretty good. The VIX is down 1.38, so that's down today, and it's well under control. So that's all I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. Special with that coupon code. And that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.